Tesla Model S Plaid review on a normal commuter day trip. This is going to be an extreme commuter day trip. See if we can do it. What are we starting with? 80% charge, which is where, you know, everybody says that's the magical number to prolong the battery life for forever. Keep it to 80%. 58 degrees outside, so it's not too cold, not too hot at all. We'll probably keep the actual, well, let's just set it now. We're going to put this all up. We're going to keep it on one. We don't really need the AC on, so we'll keep it on one. We don't need the heated steering wheel on, just to move a little bit of air inside the vehicle. What are we working with? Well, let's take a look. All right, so this is 100% factory vehicle, factory wheels, factory tires, but there are two modifications. This vehicle has been wrapped. It is wrapped in a very similar gray to what the paint color is, but it's a matte color. And the reason I did that is obviously because Tesla paint is not the best, and I wanted to protect it and give it that good look. So it's a matte black wrap, and then the windows on this are completely blacked out. So we have 5% carbon around the side. The windshield is also tinted at a 75% see-through, basically stop all the UV and all the heat. The roof is also blacked out, and the rear glass is also blacked out. So let's see overall the car. Again, I guess built in 2021, 2022 model Tesla Model S Plaid. Factory wheels, factory tires, factory everything. Yeah, let's do this little test. As far as the interior package, I actually hate the white color. The all black one gets a little boring. Most of my cars are that, so I chose the cream carbon package. So it's the black on cream with the carbon fiber inlays all throughout. And I think it's a pretty sharp package. Now, I use this vehicle to run dogs quite a bit. And for moving dogs, it's a great vehicle. So everything lays flat. We got that's an XL Kong. To put it in perspective, this is one of those huge blankets you can buy. I took the bait on the Instagram ad, and it's actually a badass blanket. As you can see here from the outside looking in, the roof is very dark. I mean, no sunlight comes to the roof. Same with the back hatch. So great place for dogs, great place to be. Let's enter the Chariot, and let's see what we can do. So that's my stats. I'm trying to hide the VIN, but you can clearly see Model S Plaid, 12,000 miles on it. So I'd say it's pretty well broke in. And as far as the add-ons, this does have full self-driving and the premium connectivity. Pretty basic right there. So it has autopilot, obviously, and full self-driving. All right, the first leg is from my house to Winchester. So that leg is going to be 22 miles. It's going to be a lot of, I'll show you guys here. It's about 8 miles of gravel and dirt driving, which is obviously not so good for efficiency. While we're out here on these gravel roads, one thing that I do is I keep the suspension in the very high, so it'll just flirt with very high to high setting. Keep the car up off the ground as much as we can. And again, I do this every day, so it's a pretty normal thing for me. So first leg, 22 miles, with the first 8 miles being on roads like this. So yes, this is why I wrapped the car. You can't keep a clean car. We own a couple Teslas. They do great in the mud, believe it or not. The all-wheel drive system is much better than I think people give it credit for, and far better than Subaru. Million side-by-side comparisons. The weight of the car does good because the cars are very heavy. So when you have a very heavy car with all-wheel drive, they tend to do pretty damn good as far as not getting stuck. I've had my Tesla Model 3 that has much more aggressive tires on it for off-road, and I've had that car up on legitimate logging trails. Obviously, your only concern on a Tesla is ground clearance, right? So ground clearance is almost always going to be your limiting factor on where you can go. But mud, snow, tight sand, I'd be a little scared to get dug in the sand because you'll bottom out, get high centered real quick. But yeah, we drive Teslas in the country. That's what we do. The last thing I just did is I also reset the trip computer, so we'll get a good read off this trip. I'm about a quarter of a mile in, so I didn't start it right away, but a quarter mile in, this is all reset, and we'll see how it plays out. All right, the last setting that we should talk about is the drive setting. So as everybody knows, the Plaid has actually 4 settings, not 3. So you have chill, sport, Plaid, and drag strip. You can 100% drive in drag strip mode. I do it all the time. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. It's all good, but I do it all the damn time. So we're in Plaid mode, but we're gonna drive easy. Why stay in Plaid mode? Because you never know when somebody might pull up on you. And if they pull up on you, sometimes you got to remind them that it doesn't really matter how loud a GT 500 is or how good a Scat Pack or Hellcat sound. All that's great. And I have twin turbo V8 cars. I love the sound of a V8. Love it. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's nothing yet on the face of the earth, vehicle-wise or bike-wise, that can hook up and roll on a non-prepped, unprepped service completely street legal like a Plaid can. It just doesn't exist yet. So hopefully something else will come out. Competition is always a good thing. But right now, this is top of the food chain. And what's crazy about the Plaid, and everybody forgets this, is that this car beats every production bike available for sale in America right now, like 0 to 155, or I think the Hayabusa passed it at 157 or whatever it was, but obviously it passed it because the Plaid stopped pulling. So think about that. 0 to 150 miles an hour, this car is faster than any production built motorcycle for sale. Hayabusa, that 1400, whatever it is, BMW, I don't know, they have those weird names. The ZF Kawasaki, nothing can hang with this bike or with this car, nothing. It's incredible actually. So you never know when you got to remind them that electric is now king. Twin turbo V8s and bikes really can't compete. So for that reason, I keep it in Plaid mode. All right, so the speed limit's 55. I've got full self-driving / autopilot, whatever you want to call it. This is full self-driving though. Turned on at 60. And you can see right now we're regenning pretty good. The little green dot right there, the green line. We just obviously had to go uphill though, but now we're coming downhill, so we're recouping some of that energy. So far in this trip, we'll just start with a quick little update. We've gone 6 miles. It took 14 minutes. Again, we got to traverse a lot of dirt, and we're not doing that well on energy, right? 383, but that's because we've been going like, you know, super slow. So 3% energy degradation. We'll see if we can bring a little bit of that back going down these hills it normally does. And then from this point on, it'll be a pretty uneventful trip. Problem, it's almost all highway. So again, electric vehicles don't do that good on the highway versus in the city. Common sense why. But another old Tesla right there, looks like a Model 3, maybe a Model Y, it's hard to tell from back here. Model Y. Anybody want some cool zoom on a Samsung camera? Woo! Damn, made me want to crash when that happened. Crazy zoom. And that's proof in the pudding. So we went from 77 up to 78, and we dropped from like 380 all the way down to 256 on miles used, just over a 2 mile stretch. So that's pretty cool. And the slick part about autopilot, there she goes, car's changing lanes on its own. Pretty cool. Did a good job right there. All right, so we are getting into Winchester right now, and for the purpose of this video, again, I'm not gonna charge. I'm gonna keep this and go from Bluemont to Winchester to DC to Bluemont and see how we do. But right now, we're getting in, we're at 73%. Now, there's superchargers right there, right over here at Sheet. So if I needed power, you can see my little arrow, there's 250 kilowatt superchargers right there. So if I needed to, I could pull off right there and grab charge and grab a coffee, and with just on a 250 kilowatt supercharger, I mean, the time it takes me legitimately to get a coffee and use the restroom, I'll have 30 to 40%, if not more, on the car, especially at the low curve. Right now, maybe not so much. Let's turn into our first stop. I don't know if you guys do this your Tesla. I always keep those side view cameras on. I actually like it. One little bit of extra thing. Nice warm day. The BMW M4's got his top down. Yep, gave me the head nod. He saw the Plaid. Car guys know.
500 feet, turn right to stay.
Now, the one cool thing when I come to work, and I'm not going to do it right now because, again, I'm testing the actual trip here. I have 2 free chargers right here directly in front of my shop. There's a Chevy Volt using one right now. They're slow, right? They're like 8 kilowatt chargers, but I can literally plug in and leave my car there for like 5 hours. And in the course of 5 hours, it will give me a decent amount of charge. So that's pretty cool. So if I need to, can always plug in right there and get some extra juice. Pulling up, going to help out here. Got to get these 2 dogs loaded up. So again, I'm in Tesla 1. It's another rich side Tesla right there, that Model 3. Blacked out windows, of course. Park right next to that. That's car number 2. We believe in Teslas for doing business, man. For business work, I don't care what anybody says, it's one of the best vehicles. So I don't even have a key, but somebody should be up here opening the door in a second. And then we got some quick computer stuff to do, emails to bang out, and then we're gonna grab these 2 dogs and head to DC. So I was gonna do this cool video, somebody open the door, but nobody's here yet. Here they come. Hard working.
Who are you?
Get out of the way. And let's jump in the office, do these emails, and get back on the road. All right, little update. We're back in the car, and we are going from Winchester to Purcellville, 24 miles away. Let's roll. All right, well, normal day, I'm gonna have to shoot this video another time because I totally forgot I have a meeting at 5:30 with my team that I cannot miss. So, quick audible, that's what happens in small business. I'm actually heading back to the house right now. So, for this trip, you wanna look at since last charge, it's been 58 miles. We're averaging 282 kilowatt hours there, or watts per mile, whatever the hell it is, I'm not sure. I don't know how to translate that, but I know the lower that number is, the better you're doing. So I do know that. But I do want to catch up on this. And for those that are looking at hard numbers, we've gone 58 miles and we've used exactly 21% of energy. So 58 miles, 21%. But look at this road, guys. This is a dirt mud road and we've got to go a long way back and forth on this road. So those of you that don't buy Teslas because you live in the country and you're like, yeah, but I live on dirt, muddy roads. And I'm like, yeah, I guarantee I live in worse conditions. Teslas do phenomenal in the snow, phenomenal in the mud, given you have the right tire. I don't. This is a Plaid. I have the issued performance tires on them. People riding horses. I got the issued performance tires. They're slick. They're almost like a damn drag radial. That's okay. They're good enough for now. I should change them out for snow tires or all-weather tires, whatever. But anyway, so that's going to wrap up this trip. But I think if you look at it and say, if you drive 60 miles or less a day, it takes about 21% energy. And, I mean, it's pretty good. You know what I mean? I'll do some more tests. We'll keep it going. Rich Side K9.